everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Footy Fantasy Podcast. And for this new one, we have a new person coming on, King Yemi, with his many mics that he has dropped. We still can't count the amount of mics he has dropped.
Yes.
We still can't count. Thanks for coming.
Thanks
King
for
Yemi.
having me. I really appreciate it.
Also,
Yes,
as you can
absolutely.
see, also a fellow United fan. Idris, regular on our show, representing the boys in blue. Mr. Idris, thanks for coming on, as always.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, we're here. Before I jump into the topics, let me tell you guys where you can find us. A quick admin. You can find us on Facebook, Extraordinary Footy Fans. You can find us on Twitter, Footy at Fantasy. Come at me. I'm always there for trolls. You can find this full video will be on YouTube at Footy Fantasy. You can find us also on Instagram at Fantasy Footy. And if you like podcasts, we have a podcast version. It'll also be out anywhere you get your podcast, the Footy Fantasy Podcast. All the addresses will be at the end of the video. Now, we're going to review the ball fest that was yesterday. But according to Idris, it was a tactical plan. It's okay. I think it was boring, but Idris says it was a tactical game. We reviewed the ball fest, the 0-0 game. We'll talk about the dark horses. This season has been ebbing and flowing so far. Hard to predict. We'll also talk about the awards, our weekly awards, egg of the face moment, donkey of the week, like, whichever you want to call it, and your kudos for the week. Since this was a game at Old Trafford, we'll start with Yemi. Yemi, what were your thoughts about that game yesterday?
Yes. It was. I don't want to say it was an exciting game. I think it was quite boring. Both teams were playing not to lose. By that, I mean they're playing not to show off what they necessarily got because nobody wanted to go down. Man U, for example, that's my team. I love my boys, but we're not the same. I felt like we had more to lose versus Chelsea having more to lose. If we had lost that game, we're way, not where we want to be in the standing, and we didn't want to fall behind further. So playing not to win the game, it kind of hurt us. But then if you look at it in the perspective of the whole season, I think we're still positioned in a situation where it's not a lot of hurt, but then we didn't benefit a lot from it because nobody was trying to take a chance. Everybody was being, oh my God, I don't want to lose this. And nobody really wanted to play their own style of soccer. I'm always reminded of the old days, when we had Alex himself, the greatest coach in our history. The way we played soccer throughout 90 minutes, it's something always exciting coming up. You never say never when it comes to the Man U of old. But the new Man U, we're just, content with being, oh my God, we finished top 6 this season. First and second is not something we even look forward to anymore. As a Man U fan, that's disgraceful to me, and I don't like that. But then again, that's what we are. So we need to embrace that and get used to it. And then hopefully, maybe one of these days, we transform to our old self. But overall, I think that game was super boring, and nobody wanted to lose. Everybody played not to lose, including Chelsea, which was kind of surprising. But it is what it is. We got 1 point out of it.
Okay, yeah, we're fine. Fair thoughts for sure. Idris, tell us, why did Mr. Frankie Lampard come with 5 at the back and 2 holding midfielders, 7 players at the back?
He built the wall of Jericho.
The wall of Jericho. Was the keeper.
The wall of Jericho.
Was the storekeeper. His storekeeper with his long towel to block the whole post.
I think as a Chelsea fan, I have to say this. I'm surprised you guys. I mean, I am happy enough to notice that we played a game where I wasn't having hypertensive states. I was not having potential strokes because somebody behind who had the wrong back pass. Somebody, you can just cross in, and Chelsea will create a situation where the cross becomes a chance on goal. We did not have our best goalkeeper was injured. alhamdulillah for a lot of people, but I think that's the wrong thing to say about somebody's misery. I am sorry, but I could really care less because I could really care less.
But Lampard already said,
the goalie coming out for crossing.
Right, Lampard already told us that it meant this. Sorry to interrupt you, but go ahead.
Well, we're all telling each other that our goalie is coming to fight for a chance. We have to bring back the technical director, who is the boss of the coach, to cover the shift of the first guy. Like, that's like calling in sick and your boss's boss has to come do your shift. Like, yo, fam, we've been through a lot already traumatically. That yesterday's game for us was a massive stepping stone. For you guys, it was boring. Glory, man, you good for you. We have gone 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, and won titles. I'm okay with what I saw yesterday. Yesterday, nobody panicked. Normally when they take a shot on goal like the Rashford shot, on a good day to go. But for God's so kind, somebody found a cheap goalie that could make a normal save. So fam, for me, it was amazing. You guys, my standards are very low, but I was okay with my defensive shift yesterday. So I don't care what anybody says. Sorry about it.
That is quite funny.
I agree.
So in other words, you say you wasted millions of dollars. So what you're telling us is you wasted millions of dollars on Kepa.
Fam, there's some investments in life. You just take it. You say this is not working.
Right on.
It's not you, it's me. I accept.
So cut your losses and move on. Cut your losses and move on.
Move on. All Chelsea fans have accepted. See, we have really tried. We have tried to make him feel good, make him keep.
Right.
When we just realized that, like, it can't be. The last game against Southampton, the back pass from Zuma was already faulty. We knew that. Kepa missed the ball and kicked the player. So even if the player did not score, it was a penalty according to VAR. So there's some things that you just start processing. You're like, and even after the player still tried to be honest and like get up to have another shot, Kepa had two chances to stop the ball, and it still ended up in the net. Fam, yesterday's defensive display was amazing, was tactical genius. It was unfortunate we couldn't go forward. I'm okay with what we did. Now we have something to build on and, begin to climb up the table.
Okay. Interesting thoughts. My own thoughts are that 0-0 will only make a difference over the next 5 games. What Manchester United and Chelsea do over the next 5 games. Because if both teams don't build on it, let me speak for my team. If you don't build from this, the next 4 or 5 games in the Champions League and the league most especially, meaning let's say win 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, we get a good healthy number of points, maybe 12 out of 15. If we don't get that over the next 4 or 5 games, then this would be a bad, because we're at home. No matter whether there are fans or no fans, we're at home. The onus is on us to go and win the game. The onus is always on the home team. You always want to win your home games. So because of that, if we don't build from this, that's my first thoughts. My own second thought is just generally about the coaches. What is his plan going forward? Now, talk to Manchester United. Who does he want to be going forward? Who are you trying to be? I know he had to make the changes after the 6-1. That's fine. So he had to stop the bleeding. I get that. That's fine. But I thought that was just for Newcastle. But then we have played 2 big games now. He's stuck. He's 2, at least, high-profile midfielders. Let me use the word. Maybe they're not the best right now, because based on form. But it's 2 high-profile midfielders out on the bench. So I'm like, okay. So what's the plan going forward? Do you plan to play these shuttlers in midfield, where the hard-working midfielders that they win all the ball, and 20 minutes? Is that a long-term plan? I don't know if that's a long-term plan that is feasible over 38 games. Are you going to switch? When do you plan to switch? That's my second question. The third question that follows that: if you switch and you have a bad game, you get found out defensively. Because I feel like our defense is not really good. That's why he's playing those 2 guys in front of the back 4. If you get found out defensively and you lose the game, what do you do next? Do you try to find a way that works with your best players, or do you go back to the shot lads? Because if you go back to shot lads, I think there's a very strong possibility that there could be some discord in the dressing room. Because the 2 high-profile players, Pogba and Van der Beek, will not be satisfied being bench players. I don't think so long term. If we get to December, end of December, and we still bring them off the bench, there will be problems. So he needs to figure that out. these are the three things he needs to figure out. He's the coach. He gets paid a lot
I
of money.
agree.
That's his job. So he needs to figure those three things out, in my opinion. I just want to talk slightly about
it's almost the same.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to quickly chip in. Like it's almost the same thing with the Chelsea situation where you want to play offensive football, then all of a sudden now we found ourselves where we're keeping clean sheets and the transition to attack is not really clicking very well. And you pointed out in your third point out how these players feel. Chelsea's having the same issue. We have a lot of players that are fighting for game time. I believe if the coach makes it a merit-based system, the Frank Lampard to do and play to the player's best ability or characteristics, then fine, it works. But then again, you have to know your limitations. And I think these coaches know what these players can offer and what these players can offer.
Yeah,
the way he's playing. I mean, I know for sure if Rashford is coming at you, Greenwood, and your fast players running at us, we're dead.
Oh yeah,
that's the honest truth.
Absolutely.
You know, so we had to play how we played against you guys because that was the only way we could mitigate the risks. Now, moving forward, it's still left on the players in front who understand the Frank Lampard style of play DNA to play forward. Now, I believe for those who are United to say Ole doesn't have the DNA, he's just a counter coach, so this is going to always be a problem. If you can't score when countering, what do you do next? I think as we fans, if you start leaking goals the way Chelsea leaks goals, I don't think United fans would be happy at all because you wouldn't see any light at the end of the tunnel if you start going down that route.
That's a fair point. But my point is this, right? I understand doing this for big games. I get that. Like, do whatever. It's your job, right? Nobody can tell me how to do my. You can do whatever tactics. What I'm saying is, you are going to play weaker teams as a big team, as big. I like to call myself big Manchester United that we are. You are going to play smaller teams 75% of the time. Your big games are 25% of the season, always. So if in those smaller teams, e.g., i.e. Newcastle, your big guys are still on the bench, and I think that's a problem because I'm like, is that the plan going forward? Like the next small team we play, in quotes, smaller team or weaker team, are we going to keep the big guys on the bench too? Because like, how do they get match reading? How do they get? How do they build relationships on the pitch? Because that's what football is. You can do all the coaching and tactics in the world.
Yep.
The players don't build that relationship. Okay, you make this run, let's form this angle, and you just think if you just score one day light bulb, oh, switch on. It typically doesn't happen like that. It takes time. They need to get that match really together, the muscle memory. So if it keeps flicking back and forth, like, oh, I need to win, let me play these two guys. Oh, okay, it's not working. Let me go. Like, I don't know how that's going to work. That's just my own. And maybe he has a plan, and he's going
to. And then you have to deal with the
like,
egos too.
Correct. Yeah. The egos. So maybe he has a plan.
You got to deal with the egos because these big players. These big players are there, and you're starting somebody that's not on their level. That's the manhood that comes with that too. So the ego plays a big role.
Correct. So all of that, he has to figure that out. That's his job. So let's pivot a little to.
I just wanted to throw in something real quick. There is like, as you said, you said big team, small team, just real quick, and 25%. I believe that was in the past. Right now, a lot of teams are leveling up. I'm beginning to suspect that 50% of your games are actually potentially key games now because everybody's spending and teams like Wolves are there.
Right.
So
that's a fair observation.
That's a fair point.
Compared to where we were before.
That's a fair point.
That's a very fair observation.
I completely agree with you guys on playing defensively and not the United DNA.
Right.
I'm also like, it's not an excuse, but I'm also like, man, guys, back in the day, you have like 4 or 3 teams, you have to be careful with the way you play.
Right.
Now, top 10 is a free for all.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. But that kind of fits into my point in the sense that when I say, that's why I use the word, I put it in quotes, say weaker team. There's no really, like the weaker team, like there are 10 very good teams in this league. If you want to be there are 10 very good teams in this league. So the point I'm trying to say is, you need to define who you are. I'm very okay if you want to play counter-attacking football. Yeah. What I'm not okay with is if you play counter-attacking and ball me to death and you don't get the results, then I'm coming for you as a manager. That's why. Because when Mourinho came, I knew when I was like, God, I know what's going to happen with this guy. I know him. He's going to ball me to death. Just give me a title. Give me the league title. That's what I said there. Right. First season, I sat through it. I'm like, okay.
1-0, we're good.
I sat through it. We didn't win anything. We came 6th. We won Europa. I said, okay, it's beauty. We won 2 trophies. Okay. Next season, we came 2nd. I'm like, we had a good spell where we played good football, then went back to this boring. I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe third season it all went to shit. So if you are going to bore me to death, you better get results. Because if you don't get results, then I'm coming for you. Because in my opinion, the players we have, we are not suited for to be a counter-attacking team. You can counter-attack. That I think the mistake people always make is that
fair enough.
Big teams, like whether you're Liverpool, whether Chelsea, whether Man City, everybody counter-attacking should always be part of a phase of how you play. It should not be how you set up by design.
Right.
That is my challenge with my coach. Setting that team up by design, it's not going to work. When you look at the pieces we have, that team is set up to be a possession dominating team, which that can also hit you on the break and score.
Exactly.
That's how the pieces we have. We don't have the pieces, especially the key players. With Van der Beek, with Pogba, these are people that can keep possession. They want to be on the ball consistently.
And I don't know why we're not playing Pogba, man. I don't know why we're not playing him.
I mean, I know why. Because he's playing in double pivot role, right? That deep role. And Pogba, his greatest weakness is defensive phase. He doesn't reach space at time when he's being attacked.
Okay.
And that people are exploiting that. Everybody's exploiting that.
But it's positive outweighs his negatives.
He's
a difference maker.
I say that.
He came in during the game and made a difference.
The easy switch is just go to a 4-3-3. It's very easy switch. I'm screaming this. Go to a 4-3-3, play him and Bruno as 8, and sit Fred or Matic depending on the game. Matic is probably good for big teams that are not as quick.
That's fair.
They're playing all the small teams that are quick and press.
Right.
Maybe go to Fred. But let's put the 2 8s there. Let them, like you said, it's positives and we direct him and Bruno. Let's have multiple outlets of creativity. That's what you do. This playing Pogba deep as a double pivot does not make any sense. Because he worked in France,
makes no sense to me at all.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work in Manchester United. Like you need to look at the league. Look at the situation. Look at your team. Also that you have. That's how you do football. You don't replicate. Oh, he worked this place. Let me do this. Or because he worked 6 games, 7 games of the season after lockdown, and we made top 4. I guarantee you, if Pogba was in the league for like the whole 38 games, we would have seen all these flaws we are seeing now. We would have seen it a long time ago. But anyways, enough of that.
True.
Mr. Yemi, let's pivot to dark horse. What's your dark horse quickly? Who's your dark horse for this season?
Yes. I've been waiting for this because I'm here to just highlight Everton as the greatest dark horse in the history of Premiership, and I'm saying that in comparison to Leicester City. I'm expecting
dark horse, by the way.
Do not talk down on my dark horse. Idris, I'm gonna come after you if you talk down on my people. But seriously, Everton is they started the season super hot, and the addition of Rodriguez and just the hungriness of the whole team reminds me of Leicester of years past. Nobody expected them to come out guns blazing like that. And then even when they became good, people were still doubting them. And then, they played the big teams and they got results out of it. And they ended up winning the league. This is the same I'm seeing in Everton right now because, they won their first few games and then everybody's saying, okay, they haven't played anybody crucial. And then they played Liverpool and then they showed out, because everybody's saying, oh, Liverpool is not the Liverpool of old, past few months in Liverpool, but they still contenders. Everybody's expected them to win the league again. So if Everton can stand their own ground and get results out of that, just imagine what they can do with the other big teams because they have the heart. I can see it. And, Rodriguez has so much to prove, just been sitting on the bench in Madrid for so long and is here having a chance to play now. So he's showing out. He's having the time of his life. He's doing what he needs to do. And I just feel like they are my dark horse. And I'm not talking about top 4 or top 2. I'm expecting them to win the league. I'm expecting them to win the league. You heard it here first. When the league is over, come to me and scream, shout it, and let me know that Yemi said this. Mark today's date down. I'm ready for Everton to shock the world again.
Here's the mic. I think you have thrown the
mic. Correct. That's what I said. Take that to the mic.
The mics are falling. Where the mics are falling? They'll clip this up for you.
That's my dark horse prediction.
This will get clipped up, and they will come for you. They will come for you. You know, this is clipped up already. This thing you said.
Yes, I know they're gonna come for me. As a Man U fan, I'm expecting Man U to do great things, but I have to be realistic enough that they might not win the league just with the way we're playing right now. So I still love my Red Devils, but I'm not expecting us to win the league. I'm counting on Everton to surprise the league and win it all like Leicester City. Write today's date down. I said it. Mic drop.
Okay, Idris. Any big predictions?
For me, no. Like I would say initially I picked Everton too as well. But then again, I'm picking Everton. Well, because Yemi has picked Everton, I'll pick another team. But for Everton, you have a winning coach. Yes, you have James Rodriguez, and it's pretty much a brand new engine, in my own opinion. You got 3 new players, you plug them in. The entire system tends to work beyond what we expect. But as I told you last year, like the Chelsea project is way ahead of schedule. I'm going to say the same thing about Everton. The project is way ahead of schedule. I think we like what we see. They have likable players and likable manager like Ancelotti. But I really don't think they're capable of keeping up this top 2. I don't know. I don't know what my brother ate this morning.
Yeah.
October 25th, 5:21 p.m. Central Standard Time. Mark it down.
Yeah, means on that Nigerian jollof.
I just feel like they're one bad injury away from having a problem. And the way Southampton played them today was very obvious. We as long as you can bypass the guys in the middle and stifle them from having anything going up front, the same how will I put it? The same kind of like exposure is still there. Like there's like I mean, it's Digne is still,
and the injuries are showing, right? Because
the
injuries are suspensions already showing. They had Coleman out, they had Richarlison out, and they didn't look as potent as that. Without those 2 guys. They are right back, they're captain
exactly,
and Richarlison.
James Rodriguez was 75% chance of playing today, right? And you could see like he wasn't fully at how devastating he could be. But he's a very good player. I'll go with Leeds. And although this has its own downside too, in the sense like because Everton spent a lot of money, Leeds did not spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
They have a crazy manager that is borderline genius / insanity, Bielsa. And I've never seen a team play so well 90 minutes at 100 kilometers an hour. I've never seen that before. Even the greatest Barcelona team were not going at this pace. Like this pace is unreal. And I don't know, man. Like I know they'll probably gas out. I also think they would have issues with injuries. But my goodness, Bamford, the last 2 goals he scored, unfreaking believable.
It was monster.
A typical situation used to be on Chelsea's books, and he's doing it big in other places. So, I'll go
but this is just the first time he's actually.
Stay away from Everton. Stay away from Everton.
So where will this finish quickly? Idris, where will they finish?
Where will Leeds finish?
Yeah, prediction.
I think Leeds will finish in the top 6.
Top 6.
I actually think they'll finish in the top 6.
Top 6? And you're talking about I'm smoking something. Top 6. What? Who's smoking something? Who's smoking now?
That's actually where the law. To be honest, to be fair to you, that is a bigger outrageous shout. More than they would ever say. Leeds finish the top 6. Leeds.
Yeah.
If that happens, man.
Hey, I know. Make sure you screenshot that too.
I will.
Make sure you screenshot that because they're gonna come for Idris later.
Yeah, they are. They have to come for it.
Top 6. Have you been eating too much jollof, Nigerian jollof?
They sprinkled it in my jollof.
They sprinkled it in your jollof. Okay. My shout is Southampton. Not because of today. I mean, I've always been a big Hassan Hutel fan. Especially when you look at where they were. This time they were talking about during that game. This time last season, they conceded 9 goals to Leicester. The easiest thing that could have happened is manager goes, the project falls apart. They have to find somebody, some other crazy manager. They just be going different. But they stuck with him. He wasn't, he said it was their worst day. blah blah blah. But he changed that team. He made some changes that team. Their pressing became way very coordinated. And towards last season, there were problems. I remember we played them with drop points. They gave a lot of problems last season. I remember they beat City. We drop points to there. I think someone else beat them drop point, and they kind of consistently flew under the radar, right? They will still lose games, obviously, but the way they press, my goodness, that they're pressing is so coordinated, it's unreal. And also,
It's pretty impressive.
It really is. And also the dedication of Hassan Mutu to say, I'm going to play the high line. I'm like, dude, you do know where you are, right? He plays that high line. He wants them to press. He wants them to attack. Danny Ings, So yeah, I think my shout is not a big shout because I'm a very moderate guy. So it's not very moderate. I think they'll finish somewhere between 6th and 8th. Southampton will finish somewhere. They will just miss out on Europe, but they are going to take a lot of bodies.
6 and 8.
No, you can't change your prediction. You cannot change your prediction.
Stay there. Southampton will take a lot of bodies along the way because
Top 6. What?
Look at their team. They have I think they have the lowest wage bill, like lowest 6-7 wage bill in the Premier League. They don't spend a lot of money. They have literally bank average players.
That's pretty impressive on its own.
Yeah, when you go at they're the lowest 6 teams when it comes to wages, and also just net spend. Also, they are with the lowest 6 also, and they have pretty bank average players from the keeper all the way. Only maybe Danny Ings, the only guy can say.
Yep.
Danny Ings, the only guy can say, okay, this guy's good, and we know him before now. This is a pretty unknown. It's full of unknown players. Just like punching above their weight, in my opinion.
I have no idea how Southampton does it.
Yeah, it's
I need to
impressive.
We need to do like a big reset Southampton. How they always recruit good managers.
Doing an amazing job, by the way.
They always recruit good
Right.
managers. Yeah. They always recruit good managers and always recruit good players. So we move to our weekly awards. So we have a new awards that we started last week. So we have one section where you call it Donkey of the Week. And if you want to be more PC, you can say egg on the face moment. It's left to you guys, for the week. And kudos of the week, we have those two. So let me start with Idris. Idris, who is your Donkey of the Week?
I will help you by even saying Mumu of the week. The man,
That's quite funny.
Is a man by the name Stuart Atwell. He happened to be the VAR referee against Manchester United and Chelsea.
It was a friendly hug. It was a friendly hug.
Hey, stop hating on us, man. Stop
hating
on us. Stop hating on us. The ref did his job. Stop hating on us.
That's a wrong sport. Wrong sport for Harry Maguire.
They just held each other a little bit. It wasn't a lot. I didn't see anything else but just a little bit.
A little bit. I'm beginning to suspect you guys were actually the guy who
It was just a hug. Thank you very much.
You know how ridiculous it was? He didn't flinch on that call. Then a few minutes later, Rashford belly just a little, and they're looking at a VAR incident. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is a Bruno Fernandes moment again. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's what we do best. It's what we do best.
Ferguson was
Don't hate on us. Just play the game.
Ferguson was in the VR room with them. So check it. Make sure you check it. He's telling them what to
I know. Seriously.
Like you didn't check. You check that one. We're going to check this one. I was like, no, we riot here.
That's funny.
No. Okay, yeah, that's a fair point.
And for me, my kudos. Yeah, my kudos is to Kepa. I want to thank him very much. I really want to thank Kepa. I really like he's taking one for the team. We appreciate him. He knows we love him. He knows we've tried. We have done what any parent, any family member would do for their own. We have written off losses, and Mendy was our kudos of the day. Every day Kepa celebrates or calls in sick, something monumental happens in Kepa's life, we keep a clean sheet. On Kepa's birthday, we won 4-0 clean sheet for the first time in Lampard's time. On Kepa calling in sick with the flu, we have a clean sheet with Mendy. blessed to Kepa. I really appreciate it. Might be a backhanded compliment to Mendy, but that's my kudos of the week.
Fair enough.
Okay, Yemi, let's hear yours.
Yes. So my egg in the face moment, and this is a proud moment for me as a Ronaldo fan, is Messi choking. He's doing what he does best. Like, I was so impressed about the Clasico yesterday with Madrid just making Messi look like Kepa. Like, it was embarrassing. It wasn't good enough. I was so overjoyed because Messi did not show out like he normally does. I'm a Ronaldo fan, so every time Messi shows me a reason to continue to confidently believe in Ronaldo, it makes me happy. I really like what Messi did yesterday. Keep it up for the rest of the season. I don't expect you to win any awards anymore. Ronaldo for life. I'm done. My best moment, kudos.
You gave him a
Yes, I had to. He stunk yesterday. He played really bad yesterday. I think Barcelona just needs an overhaul because it's not the same team anymore. And I think the sooner they realize like they can't just keep building around Messi anymore, the sooner they'll get better again. Because it's becoming so one-dimensional now. They're so predictable. I feel like any team can beat them right now. But I'm just glad that's what they're doing right now. So that way, Messi's greatness can be reduced a little bit, and Ronaldo can keep going high. So keep that egg on your face, Messi. And then my kudos goes to Jamie Vardy, man. Jamie Vardy is always showing out. When you think they're out, when you think they have nothing to show, Vardy comes from somewhere, out of the blues, out of nowhere, shows out, shows up, shows well, and continues to play well. I love what he's been doing this season. I've loved him for a while now. I'm a big fan of him. I know it's going to continue to do good. Hopefully he gets more playing time when he goes to England, because I hate when they play on the national team and he's always on the bench and he's not playing enough. Shout out to Kane, because Kane always shows out too. But I'm sure they can find a way to make it work some type of way. Because Vardy's speed, you can't just, and his mindset and his attacking skills alone, you need to put him somewhere on the field. Make it work as a coach. That's all I ask for. Vardy, I love you, man. Keep up the good work.
Okay, let me see mine.
For England, though.
I don't care who's retired. They need to call him back. Vardy needs to be back. He's at the top of his career right now. There's no way you waste a talent like that. You unretire him, incentives, whatever you need to do. Put him back on the team.
I agree. We have 5 minutes left, so let me jump into mine quickly because it's going to cut out. My own egg on the face moment is to Sergio Ramos, to counter your own for diving for just a small tug on the shirt to free you as if he was shot for that penalty. I'm like, come on, Ramos, come on. You don't need to do that, I'm a big Messi fan. Unlike Mr. Yemi, I'm a big Messi fan, so I was disappointed. So that's my egg on the face. Ramos, be a man and stop diving. But just getting small talk and just and he gets a penalty. So I'm mad at Ramos for doing that. Ramos is a consistent G. I respect. He's a legend for Madrid. But Ramos, stop diving. I hate divers. My kudos for the week goes to the whole Leeds team and Bielsa. The way they played 100 miles an hour, they put that myth to bed about Villa being possible contenders. They put to bed. They took them apart one by one. From minute 1 to 100, they were on Villa, counter-attack, pressing, triangles, everything, possession. They did everything that game. I'm like, wow, this is a bunch of nobodies, man. Bunch of nobodies. They were doing everything. They were pressing, they were counter-attacking, they were keeping the ball, they were playing out on the back, high press, mid press, counter press. I'm just watching how does this man do this thing? I know it's not feasible over 13 game period, but man, even if I get for 6-7 games, Villa gets my kudos for the week. Because in fact, my note to self now is always watch. I said Villa, sorry, Leeds. I always watch Leeds. That's my note to self. Anytime Leeds is playing, I make out time to watch Leeds because I get entertained. All their games this season, I've been told. I didn't watch one against Wolves. That one I heard was boring. I think that was last week Monday. I'm glad I didn't watch that. But every other game I've seen this season, it's been very good. Guys, we've come to the end of the show. Before we go, any anybody wants to find us, all our addresses will be at the end, and also at the end of this one, look out for our FPL updates by Ola, which should be at the end of this. Yemi, thanks for coming on. It was fun, so much fun. We'll try to bring
Thank
you
you
on
for
more.
having me. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Same here. Mr. Frank Lampard Idris slash Ungolo Ungolo Kante. Ungolo overrated Ungolo Kante. The man with 13 lost possession and 0 duel completed. Keep living on the old Ungolo Kante of 2018.
I think it was a
Very soon, your eyes will open. You know.
No, you shouldn't bring that up at the end. You shouldn't have brought that up at the end. The dish is gonna be pissed for the rest of the day. You should have stayed there.
It was very strategic. So he doesn't have any comeback.
Right. You did that on purpose. You did that on purpose.
Yes, I did. Kante is overrated. That's my end. Thank you everyone for watching.
Right.
Oh my God.
So welcome to the Footy Fantasy Who's Hot and Who's Not Hot segment. This is your weekly update of the tips which you can use to find who is the best player to get into your squad and who's the best player to kick out of your squad. And who's hot this week? Patrick Bamford of Leeds United. He's hot. 6 goals in 6 games with a very, very affordable price of 5.9 million. Leeds United have been looking good. They seem to be creating lots of chances. They seem to be a team that will score a lot of goals. And Patrick Bamford is their main striker. So, if you're looking to invest in a player who's going to bang in a lot of goals, Patrick Bamford is the man. He is hot. And Leeds United generally have a squad full of good bargains. Luke Ayling at the back kept a clean sheet in the last game. Plays as a full back, but also playing as a centre back. Can get you some bonus points. The goalkeeper is also cheap, can get you some points. So these are the players you should be looking to bring into your squad. Leeds United, keep an eye on them. Bielsa's men are going loco. Now let's talk about who's not hot. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, PEA, has gone off the boil. 5 games without a goal for Arsenal in the league. That's his worst run since he joined. Arsenal seem to be struggling for goals, and their main striker is also struggling for goals. And for a player who was one of my favorites coming into the season because he was classed as a midfielder, he's no longer hot. 12 million is too expensive. It is time to cut your losses if you still have them. Reinvest and get in better players who are going to be banging in goals. So, Aubameyang, no longer hot. And then, if you're going to be looking for players who are also going to have some good fixtures in the next few weeks, Crystal Palace players, their defense is not too bad. They don't concede too many goals. And their main striker, one of their main strikers is Zaha. He's not doing too badly. He is one of the players you should be looking to get in. And if you're also looking for players who are also going to deliver some clean sheets, well, I wouldn't suggest you look at Liverpool players any longer. Van Dijk is out. Probability of keeping clean sheets has diminished. So it might be time to start thinking of trading in your Liverpool defenders for cheaper options who are going to get you points. So that is our Footy Fantasy update, the tips. And you can join us same time next week. Keep an eye out. And keep an eye out on the news too, because apart from injuries coming up, COVID-19 infections are also keeping some players out. So keep an eye out, keep an ear out, and keep rocking. Cheers.